Youth advocates want people to better understand mental health. This comes after 3 suicide deaths related to school shootings here in the U.S.
It's a tragic reminder that pain and trauma can have a devastating impact. News 10's Abby Kerr continues to look into mental health issues this morning. She's live at the Hamilton Center in Terre Haute with more on what experts call survivor's guilt.
Yeah, John Aaliyah, a parent who lost his child in the Sandy Hook massacre, took his own life last week. That came just days after 2 Parkland shooting survivors also took their own lives. Experts say this is why it's so important to talk about trauma and suicide prevention.
I can't imagine having gone through something like that and knowing that people that they cared about didn't survive.
Missy Burton is a clinical supervisor for child and adolescent services with the Hamilton Center in Terre Haute. She works one-on-one with children and families every day.
A lot of the youth and children that we are dealing with have been through trauma or have witnessed other folks going through trauma.
The recent suicide of the father of a child killed in the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting in Newtown, Connecticut has sparked conversation about survivors' guilt, what life looks like after trauma. Burton called the recent suicide deaths from Parkland and Sandy Hook heartbreaking.
It's something that they are going to cope with every day for the rest of their lives.
For the parents and families of the victims, she says it can be difficult to cope. But what about the youth? Burton says the younger you are, the more impact the trauma can have.
It can impact their brain development. It can impact their emotional regulation.
For young minds, learning the coping skills isn't an easy task. Often, she says, children will take the responsibility on themselves, ultimately impacting their own identity development.
That this is my fault, that I caused this, because to think that somebody else is to blame is very scary. That the safe people around me maybe aren't so safe is a scary thing for them.